Welcome to another episode of OBH Sports. This episode is sponsored by Snubbed Coffee. Head over to snubbedcoffee.com or snubbedrecords.com. Takes you to the same place. Click on coffee. Buy some coffee. Our signature roast, Punk Roast, is single origin from Medellin, Colombia. Snubbed Coffee. Get some coffee.
You ready, Jack?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
Then you take us out on feet.
Oh, man. You know what I'm sick and tired of? I'm sick and tired of the Phillies are like a gnat. Like they just don't go away. It's like throughout the whole season, they're like by your, it's like they land in your eyeball and you're like, and then once the playoffs start, they turn into the greatest baseball team of all time every fucking year. And I'm so fucking tired of it.
They're playing right now, aren't they?
Yes. And I'm not watching it.
What's the score?
Good question. I just got home. I actually worked today.
They were winning earlier.
Yeah.
But yes, Ron, Philadelphia as a city they're the gnat of the United States.
Yeah, the Phillies are up 4-0 in the sixth.
Yeah, they're gonna sweep. They're gonna sweep the fucking series.
I have to say, I'm not after watching the wild card games of the playoffs this time around. I dug what they did better when there was the one game playing.
Yeah.
I'm not digging this whole like wild card system where the teams get like a bye for like a few days. Basically, they're not playing for a week.
It fucks them up.
It does. It does fuck them up because there's one fucking team that went 1-1 in the first two games.
Yeah.
Of the team, all the teams that got the bye, all three of the teams that got the bye have started out 0-2 in their series, and they lose one more and they're done. I'm not a fan of this. The O's are down 0-2.
Yeah, they're gonna be gone.
Yeah, the O's are down 0-2. Yeah. The Dodgers, I think the Dodgers are the one. Oh no, the Dodgers only played one game so far, but they lost.
It's like starting a new season. It's the longest.
The Braves are going to be down 0-2. Right. The in the other American League game, Houston and Minnesota are 1-1, but like we may see like that's what I'm saying. We may see those teams all go down 0-2. I don't like it. Yeah. I don't like it. The Rangers have no business being up 2-0 on the fucking O's. I'll tell you that.
I'll take it one step further, man. If I was king for a day, I would go back to the old school. There'd be a National League and there would be an American League. And the two best teams, the best records would play in the World Series. Fucking that's it.
Yeah.
Bam. Boom.
Yeah, the regular season is the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of, that's the way we grew up, Ron.
That's the only way you know that the two best teams are playing each other.
Yep. I kind of am with you. Is the regular season determines who's in the World Series.
Yeah, there's 162 games. Get your shit together and make it to the fucking World Series.
Yeah. Yep.
If life was actually like that, though, my boys wouldn't have won any World Series.
I know.
Because they both came in the back door through the wild card.
That's what she said.
The old Come on, baby. Let's do the wild card. The old backdoor trick.
I didn't see a thing though about I think the Rangers. The score was 11-something yesterday or something like that. And
11-8 was the final.
11-8. And they're like the Rangers scored more points than the Dallas Cowboys last night.
Yeah, that was game 2 because game 1 was 3-2 Rangers. I also have to fault the O's a little bit in that series. I don't know what their manager was thinking going into this wild card game because their best pitchers did not pitch in game 1 or game 2.
Yeah.
Like Radish pitched and he's pretty good, but like what the fuck are you doing? Like game 2, they started just like they're like fifth dude. At least in my eyes. I could be way off there, but like in my eyes, like game 2, they being down 1-0, they started their like worst starting pitcher. Come on, like what?
Yeah.
What? I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I hate the Phillies.
I
They
hate
make
that.
me root for the Braves. And that hurts my
Yeah.
soul.
If the Phillies beat the Braves, and I'm done. I'm done with baseball.
They're going to beat the Braves.
I'm done with baseball. The Phillies cannot win the World Series ever. Philadelphia deserves nothing nice ever.
Gee whiz, Matt. What did they ever do to you?
So many things, Travis. You have no idea. See, like
That was the joke.
Yeah, you have no idea. I mean, I guess you do a little bit. How much I despise Philadelphia.
They diddled your emotions.
Although I will say that Travis and Jason Kelsey's podcast is podcast gold. I will say that.
I haven't listened
It's
yet.
so good.
but-
It's so good.
It really is.
They're so funny.
It really is. And I find it funny that people are starting to make memes, like little video memes of Jason Kelsey talking to his coaches on the Eagles, because it's funny because they look so disinterested in what he has to say, and I'm looking in his face and their face, being like, "This is the guy you should listen to."
Yeah.
Like, the center on your team knows more than any of the coaches on your team. It's very clear just by looking at their faces while they're talking to each other.
They're treating the poor guy like Ringo Starr.
Oh, dude. Jason Kelsey, yeah. I mean, he should be he is the star of the Eagles. You watch, when he retires, the Eagles are just going to be so garbage.
He is the fucking heartbeat of that team, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
It's so true. I never would have said that previous to listening to that podcast, but now I understand who Jason and Travis Kelsey are. And I also fully believe that Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift is a completely manufactured relationship to gain more money for her and the NFL.
Yeah.
I can go deeper into my theory, but we don't have to do that right now.
He doesn't need any more money.
No, he doesn't. But he also was on a television show that was like The Bachelor.
Yeah. What was it? Jason
Mhm.
Kelsey or something? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for 2 seconds, just think about it. Taylor Swift not going to get any more popular, right? Not without the NFL's help. The NFL not going to get any more popular. Well, not without Taylor Swift's help.
How much more money do you fucking need?
It's never enough.
Jesus Christ. Dude, she cleared $1 billion on this tour, and I'm not even making that up. How much more money do you fucking need?
Those of us who criticize capitalism from time to time, these are the problems with
Bastard.
it. Because people are allowed to go unchecked and hoard money and not recycle that money in the economy. Those are the problems. I would say the positives far outweigh the negatives, but those are the bad parts of it. Hey, how do billionaires become multi-billionaires?
Hard work.
Hoarding money has always been a problem. It goes back to the medieval times, the hierarchy. These are the issues, and we can relate this to sports, and I'm doing it right now with Travis Kelsey and that witch of a fucking woman.
Feudalism.
Look at her all schmoozing up next to their mom. That shit was fake as fuck. I could see right through that. You hear that, Swifties? You hear that? Your idol is false. You're all going to hell.
False idol. Speaking of hell, I saw the Exorcist Believer last night. No, last night? No, Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, the new Exorcist. Yeah, we talked about this. How was it?
It was I was waiting to be disappointed, and I never was. So,
do you see that in the background on Travis's screen?
No,
he got up on purpose. There's a Taylor Swift thing on the inside of that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
Hell yeah.
He's a Swiftie, you son of a bitch.
It's life size too, so it's 6'4".
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What is that? What do they call those things? Oh my God.
Fathead.
Yeah. Did that really just happen? Did this?
I wasn't even trying. I was just trying my cord was tangled, so I was trying to unfuck it up.
That is funny.
Did Travis I thought I knew you. Did the NFL pay you to infiltrate our podcast?
I can't answer that question.
Yeah, I used to have a life-size Britney Spears thing.
Yeah, but that's different.
That's a blow up doll.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, I just called her Britney.
Yeah, you don't have. Holy shit,
Man.
the Swifties have infected this podcast.
I'm tired of Jason Kelsey being so popular too, because like I get so many people because at work I deal with the public like, oh, you look like Jason Kelsey. I don't.
You do.
No, I don't. I'm just a, which is fine or whatever. But no, you're just calling me a fat guy with a beard. Like,
but it's more like you kind of sound and act like him. Actually,
he acts like me. I'm older than him. He acts like me.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Are you older than him?
I probably I'm 37.
Oh yeah, you are.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, I think he's like 34, maybe 35 or something.
It's so fucked up once you become older than athletes.
Mm-hmm. You hit 30 as an athlete, and people are like, "Oh, he's old as fuck," and you're like, "What?"
What's even worse is when you become heavier than every athlete. So when they're like when you're watching football, like this guy's 330, like Jesus Christ, I wish I was 330. And I'm 5'9" and don't play sports.
Travis Littman heavier than the whole wide receiving room combined.
I was watching what game was I watching? The Eagles game with my wife yesterday, and they kept commenting on how they keep wondering if they're going to do away with the quarterback sneak. And my wife said that every game she's watched this year, they've mentioned that.
Why would they keep talking about it? It's because the Eagles are so good at it.
But I've heard it discussed in other games too.
Yeah, they talked about it.
So I'm assuming they're going to do away with it next year.
Well, they're talking about
prepping us for it.
They're talking about it league wide because the Eagles now have made it popular, which is the what is it called? What do they call it?
The brotherly shove.
The brotherly
shove.
Yeah.
And believe me, I fucking hate the Eagles. Like with every even little flakes of dried skin that are going to get wiped off, and lost into the void and eternity. They all hate the Eagles as well. But why would you fucking stop any NFL team from that play?
It's a run play.
Right. It's 1 yard. Hello. Stop them from having 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1.
Right.
And on top of that, because every team in the league is not good at this play. My Commanders suck at it. They can't get 1 yard when they want 1 yard to save their fucking life. We get our asses stuffed every fucking time we try to do some shit like that. 9 out of 10 times we lose 3 yards on what is supposed to be a quarterback sneak. Yeah. You can't that just because they're fucking good at it. You're like, oh, well, yeah, get rid of it. No, fine. Stop them. Yeah. Somebody has to stop them. Keep them from having 1 yard gains for first downs. How about make them have 3rd and 9 or 4th and fucking 5? They're not going to
get rid of it. I'm going to be so pissed.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Also, watching what game was it this weekend? There was a game this weekend. Was it Tennessee? I can't remember what teams it was, but they lined up at the goal line on 4th and 1 in goal line formation and fucking faked the handoff to the fullback and tossed it out.
Yeah.
To the running back, and nobody on the fucking field thought that they were going to run wide. Why don't more teams do that?
Right.
You can fake it like that. I feel like that whole fake toss out left on the goal line has lost a lot of shit because at some point in time, people started doing that a lot more, and other teams became more susceptible to stopping it. But now in the NFL, when it's 1 yard to gain, generally everybody just puts it in the quarterback's hands and tries to brotherly shove it. And whoever that was that I was watching this weekend or yesterday did that shit, and everybody bit on it, and they just fucking tossed it out to the running back who just jogged in the end zone. Nobody even near him.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's just so dumb to I don't know. It's just how could you even enforce that? Like
It's dumb. Why would you talk about getting rid of that? It's
but I
dumb.
think they are going to get rid of it because they keep bringing it up every
I know.
fucking game I watch.
Yep. That's generally how shit like that works. They get you used to an idea and then they get rid of it. Yeah.
How are they going to get rid of it?
I don't know.
You're probably right. They're gonna, but like, okay, we're gonna get rid of they're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna, you can't do this anymore. We're gonna get rid of it, and we're gonna be like, why? And they're just like, well, you just can't.
I'm with you, Travis. How would you? What's the rule that you would make? I've thought about this over and over and over, actually, over the last few weeks. Like,
the quarterback can't run it on fourth down.
What would be, the quarterback can't keep it. They have to hand it off. The quarterback just can't keep it.
Yeah, I guess
either pass or hand it off behind.
That's how. I mean, that's the only way they could do it. Is like on fourth down, the quarterback has to hand it off or throw it.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous because
it is ridiculous.
Yeah, what happens if you back up to pass and like the line breaks down, then you go to scramble? You can't do that. It's a ridiculous notion. It's a ridiculous notion. If you want to stop the Eagles from doing it, then stop them from having 3rd and 4.
Yeah, that's up to the defense to stop them from doing it, not the rule, not the fucking regulations.
Actually, that raises another question. Why the fuck do the Eagles have so many 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s? It seems like it's way more than any other team. Why the fuck can't the Eagles just get first downs? What the fuck's going on there?
Why can't they be more like the Dolphins?
I think it's because the Eagles run so much. Previous to this year, they're passing a little bit more this year, and honestly, the Eagles' offense is not that great this year. They have been criticized a bunch. They're not. Their running game is coming up short. Their passing game has looked good when they've played Washington, and that's no surprise. We're terrible.
They have a new offensive coordinator who you can tell he's a first year. Or I don't know if he's a first year offensive coordinator, but you can tell he's new with the Eagles.
And on top of that, they lost 2 of their 3-headed monster of running backs that they had last season. Granted, they did sign Swift from Detroit. But like, I don't know if Swift is as good as what they had going on last year.
No, he's not.
I don't think he's a good running back.
He's good, but he's not. Yeah, there were
Miles Sanders / whoever the fucking other guy was that I can't think of. But they had Miles Sanders.
Rashad Penny?
Maybe was it? They had Miles Sanders, somebody else, and then Boston Scott. They still have Boston Scott. He's still their 3rd.
Yeah.
I believe Boston Scott is still their 3rd running back. But they've got Swift and somebody else who I don't think are as good as who they had last year. I think Swift is better than Sanders, to be honest with you, but I don't think the guy that's behind Swift is doing much of anything to complement him this year.
Shout out Goddard for coming through when I needed him. Thank you, sir. Finally.
And you did the right thing and played Sam Howell this week too.
I've been very lucky. I'm calling it luck because I'm by no means an NFL expert. Every decision that I've made so far in fantasy football has been the correct decision.
And Ron,
100% luck.
OBH Fantasy Football League this year. We're into we just finished up week 5, or we finish up week 5 tonight.
Yeah.
Ron's the only undefeated team.
That's right.
He will be 5-0 at the end of the week this week. He is the only undefeated team.
Yes.
Travis scraping the barrel. I think you got to win this week. Put you at 2-3, right?
I did. I got to win this week 2-3, but I got Ronnie in my sights. Don't you worry.
Big win for Trav this week. Big win. Also, big win for me. Yep. I had the right things happen in my division.
Yeah.
After the week's over, there will be a 3-way tie for first place in my division.
I don't think it's even going to be any 1-loss teams after this weekend. I think I'm going to be up by 2 games on everybody.
Yeah, that's factual because my division, which you are not in, will be 3 teams at 3-2 and 2 teams at 1-4 after this week. Yeah. There's only 1 game that's undecided in my division. So Cassie and Ryan Ryan's 3-1. Cassie's 2-2.
Mhm.
And Cassie is up on Ryan, I think, by almost 40. He's up by like 38. And he's got Jordan Love left to play, and Ryan's got 2 position players left to play. Neither of them are quarterbacks.
Okay.
So it's pretty much a done deal. It says on CBS that Ryan has a 5% chance of winning the game.
Yeah.
If Ryan wins, then he will be 4-1. But if he loses, then we'll have 3-2 teams in our division. And
Yeah.
granted, I will be at the bottom of those 3 because both of their division records will be 3-2, and mine's 2-2. But now we're getting into
Preston. Was it last week when I beat him by 4 points? Or was that 2 weeks ago?
that was last week.
It's so funny. He's so pissed.
I cannot wait to have Preston and Matt Farmer on this podcast so they can just so they can talk shit to each other.
Who is poor game time decision? I think he's gonna get one this week, but shit.
No, that's a she. That's Jill. That's Matt Farmer's wife, Jill.
Right on.
Yeah, she has had a poor start to the season, but she's beaten old Matt Martin from Chupacabra this weekend.
We gotta get Matt Martin. He's been the worst. He's had the worst team, I think, every year we've done this.
This is year 2 for him. Yeah, and he's
okay. All right. Yeah,
he's Brokeback Martin, which is his team name. Yeah, he's Matt's Matt's got to pull up his bootstraps here because he's this is year 2 for Matt, and I know he's listening. He's gonna be listening.
Yeah, he will.
You hear that, Matt? Pull up your bootstraps. Let's go, bro.
Get it together, man. Come on.
Get it together.
But Matt, weren't you dead last year?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't dead last. I just won the losers bracket.
Yeah.
Oh, you were the best loser.
Best loser.
Right.
Yeah.
Matt was the worst team. My team was, I think, I want to say like 3rd or 4th worst, but then I won the losers bracket, so first overall pick.
What are the prizes again?
Okay,
Money.
Yeah, money. All right, so everybody puts in $100.
Yes, so $1,000.
Right, the league is 150.
Mm-hmm.
It costs
so $850
$150
prize money. Yeah,
so $850 prize money. First place gets $400.
Mm-hmm.
Most points, person who wins the points of the season, gets $200.
I'm going for that.
Hold on. I think
that's too much because I think first place gets 300.
No.
First place is definitely 400.
It's 400.
Okay.
It actually might even be more.
Go ahead. Ask me how I know.
Yeah. So
hey, officially, our game isn't over yet.
Yeah. All right, so sorry. First place gets 450. That's my bad.
That's what it was. 450.
It's 450.
Okay.
If you win the points for the whole regular season, you win 200. So there's 650 total, and then second and third place win their money back.
Okay.
That has been changed. That last year was the first year. It was those figures. I had changed it a couple times after I completely took the league over. I changed a few things because it used to be different than that, but those figures are, to me, the most fair for a team a league that puts in $100 per person. Because like, you can't do a league that's $100 per person and then winner takes all. Like, nobody's gonna want to play year after year after year unless you just have $100 to throw around and you're fucking rich. Then it's whatever. But like, nobody wants to just consistently lose $100 a year. So like, you have to come up with terms where, people, especially if you want to have a competitive league where people can win their money back. So second and third place win their money back. You didn't win shit, right? You shouldn't get anything extra. Second place doesn't deserve more money than third place. Like, you didn't do shit for getting second place other than just getting to the championship game.
Yeah.
Bullshit. You lose the championship, you get your money back. That's fair.
Yeah.
Third place, you get your money back. That's fair. First place should get a solid amount of money.
Yeah.
If we're spending 150, 450 is good. Winning the points is another place to put money. That's a solid amount of money. That's a hard thing to do. Winning the championship and winning points is the same thing. One person wins. One.
Yeah.
You get you're the best in the league. So winning points is it's a testament to being a GM. I played the right players on the right day and scored the most points. It is a hard thing to do. Let me tell you, I've run this league, or at least been a co-commissioner of this league since 2006. And I have won the points twice.
Yeah.
And one of them was in the inaugural season.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other one was like 3 years ago. I have never won the championship in this league. I have been to the game.
I have.
Yeah.
Hey.
I read
what used to be in this league, and she won a championship. I didn't. I'm the Buffalo Bills of this league. I've been to the championship several times. I just never won.
Can I just say something?
You can.
Last year was my first year.
No.
Yeah.
In this league, no.
Are
Last
you
year
sure?
I'm positive. Last year was your second season.
Okay, I trust you because my memory's shit, but I
Yeah,
can't
because
remember.
you almost didn't play your second season.
You're right. You're right.
This year's your third season in the league.
You're 100% right. Excuse me, I retract that statement. I'm an asshole.
No, you're good. You're good.
Won it on the second year though.
You did. And Ron won. You won last year, right, Ron?
I never won
last year.
Oh, Travis won last year. Oh,
I was in the championship game with him.
That's right. You played against Travis last year.
Yeah. And technically it's not over yet, but I seeded because it was the game that got canceled.
Because of the Hamlin died on the field.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So.
Hamlin died on the field with Ronnie's championship hopes.
Yeah.
Hey, he came back last week. He played his first game last week.
Yeah,
I know, against the fuck. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, let's talk about what happened. Not this past weekend, but the weekend before, Travis. What happened?
The past is the past.
But you got to bring up old shit.
What happened there? Josh Allen seemed to have a really good. He's on my fantasy team. He's one of my 2 starting quarterbacks. Just so you know, he seemed to have a really, really good day that week. What happened? Who did he play? Who was he playing against again?
Your mother. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and take this abuse. All right, from a commies fan. All right.
No, we're terrible. I can admit that.
They just had they picked the wrong day to have a bad game. It happens. Every team has a bad.
I don't think your Dolphins had a bad game.
Listen, it wasn't a good game. They played like shit.
I don't know, man. I think the Bills are good. I think the Bills are
I'm
good.
not saying that. No. I'm not saying that the Bills are not good. The Bills are very good. But I don't think that if they played up to their ability, I had them losing that game going into Buffalo before the season started. I had them losing that game. Just not that bad.
Yeah, that was
if they played their fucking game, it would have been more like the last 2 times we saw them when they won by a field goal.
That, you know what? Weeks 2, 3, and 4 of the season, the Bills pretty much looked like the most dominant team in the NFL. I don't know what happened. Do you think this week was them playing in overseas? Do you think that maybe jet lagged them a little bit?
100%. And I love that they lost. So don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think they were jet lagged. Dude, the fucking Jaguars were out there for the week before already.
That's true. I'm a big proponent too of that. Doug Peterson as a head coach will steal you a game every once in a while because he has the ability to outcoach the other team.
I love Big Chub Doug. I love that guy, dude.
I'm a fan too. I still laugh at the Eagles for firing him. I still don't understand why the Eagles fired him.
Because Carson Wentz ruined that guy.
But that wasn't Carson Wentz's fault. Carson Wentz wasn't even really there when he got fired. Doug Peterson got fired for one thing specifically. He tanked a game at the end of the season against us, and Giants fans went ballistic in the media. And you know, it's New York, and the NFL listened to them. And I think they pressured the Eagles to fire Doug Peterson for tanking a game against us. Because it put us in the playoffs. If they would have won that game, we would have been out of the playoffs and the Giants would have been in. But we beat them and we got in the playoffs and actually won the division because of that, which is insane because we finished 7-9. Yeah. I still think to this day that Giants fans caused the Eagles to fire Doug Peterson, which is absolutely insane because that's one of your rivals. It was a weird thing that went on there. But regardless, they fired Peterson and then hired New Jersey's fuckboy Nick Sirianni.
I like Sirianni. So I like.
I can't stand him, but whatever. He's apparently a pretty decent football coach.
He's classic. He's Philly too, all the way through.
Oh my God. Yeah.
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 Hey, the Jets won.
They did. And they actually played a pretty good game.
I didn't watch it, but
Zach Wilson didn't play as good as he played against the Chiefs, but the Jets did not look terrible out there. Zach Wilson did, but but they played well enough to make his terribleness not be bad enough to lose.
Yeah. They have a good team around him.
There's been talk this past week of, Aaron Rodgers' Achilles injury not being like as bad as like a full tear or whatever.
Yeah.
And that if the Jets somehow find their way into the playoffs, that Rodgers may be ready to go.
They're not getting to the playoffs.
There's talk of it. There's talk of it. There's been talk of it.
They could talk all they want. They're not getting the playoffs.
Well, Rodgers being ready to go, I could see happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, the playoff part. Wilson would have to do something.
He would have to die, and they would have to bring somebody else in.
He would have to be like blessed by 13 different deities.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday at noon on the altar at Witch's Pond.
Right.
Down to like the second in order
or
to
be possessed by a demon who's really good at football.
Yeah. Yeah. But it would have to be done like the way I'm talking about it in order for everything to land perfectly. Zach Wilson is now Hansel, right? I don't know who Gretel is. But like he's put himself in the position to be eaten by a witch,
Totally.
You put Zach Wilson in some lederhosen and a hag is storming out of the bog to snatch him up and shove him in an oven,
Bog is such a good word. Bog is a good word.
Yeah. And he's the cougar hunter.
That's right.
That's what they call him now. He's never going to live down that nickname.
Why would you want to?
Banged his mom's best friend.
Oh, I thought it was just his mom. In typical Jets fashion.
Stepmom. Yeah. Zach Wilson. He is the what do you call somebody? He is the proprietor of the business that now is Mormon stepmom porn.
He's Mormon?
He is. He went to BYU.
Yeah.
Creep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
after he like banged his mom's friend or whatever, his girlfriend left him for Dax Milne, who was his number one wide receiver at BYU, who plays for the Commanders.
And enjoy that wild missionary sex.
Yeah. More than likely, that's just Dax Milne and Zach Wilson's ex-girlfriend, because I don't think that's what Zach Wilson's enjoying.
I just opened this beer I've never had before. A buddy gave me. It's by Tampa Bay Brewing Company. It's called Gourd's Gone Wild. Since we're on the kind of the subject,
Okay.
And it's a pumpkin ale, dude. It's actually fucking delicious.
Yeah,
and that's not usually my thing.
Gourd's Gone Wild.
Yeah,
I like
nice.
that name. Let's see if I can find that. I haven't seen that one.
I'm drinking a Rhodes Mary's Baby, also a pumpkin ale.
Those are good.
All right, Ronnie.
Aged in
seltzers.
you got seltzers?
Uh-huh. What is it? Aged in bourbon barrel, right?
Aged in rum barrels with vanilla beans.
Rum barrel.
Oh, Oh, I'm glad I remember this. I don't know why I remember this though. So Achan, your boy Achan, that let me tell you something. When we drafted him, you were like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, this guy is unbelievable. And I was like, cool, like it looks good. Dude, lights out, this guy. Lights out.
I'm
He set
even
an
more
NFL
pissed.
record. He set an NFL record this week. So the first game of the season, he did not play. The second game, he played a couple snaps against the Patriots. The third game against the Broncos, we all know what happened.
Yeah, he went off.
He even did well against Buffalo. And then after the game yesterday, so he's technically played in 4 games. And with those 4 games, he scored 7 touchdowns, which is a Super Bowl era NFL record.
Wow.
And that first game against the Patriots, he only took a couple snaps, like he barely played. So honestly, it's 3 games.
Yep.
This guy is a fucking animal.
Yep, he is. I told you he's gonna be a fucking beast.
I just hate listening. God.
He was the fastest running back in the draft. He's the most dynamic running back in the draft. He can catch passes out of the backfield. Like, I don't understand how this dude slipped to the 3rd round. I really don't understand.
It's
because running backs aren't valued anymore. That's why
they're not. They're totally not valued. Yeah. And I get it, dude. And I understand like the small handful of running backs that absolutely killed that market for them.
Yep.
And
well, it's because they're so often injured now in today's game.
Oh, of course, that's what it is. And then they wanted too much money, and then as soon as they get paid, they get injured.
Yep. Yeah, you just can't, from the business side of the NFL, you just can't afford to pay running backs a shit ton of money because it's just a giant question mark. I mean, look, why did Indy do what they did with Jonathan Taylor?
They paid him today, though.
They paid him today?
Yeah. 3 years. It was like 3 years, $43 million or something.
So he'll be back now.
He's gonna be playing. Yeah.
And watch how much Jonathan Taylor elevates the Colts game. It's probably not going to be all that much better than they're already playing. Because honestly, the Colts are playing pretty good football.
It's true.
For a team that was supposed to be like ultra garbage, they're playing pretty good fucking football. They're 3-2, right?
Yeah.
And they beat the Ravens.
They did. So I was thinking about this week was the Steelers beat the Ravens.
Yeah, but the Colts have beaten like some solid teams this year already. The Ravens being one of them. But maybe the Ravens aren't as solid as people think they are because they've lost some shitty games.
Yeah. This year, for whatever reason, Lamar it just shits the bed in the 4th quarter.
Yeah. I think the Ravens were right. I think the Ravens bowed down to public perception in the NFL or whoever the fuck else. I don't think the Ravens should have paid Lamar Jackson. I think they should have just let him walk in free agency and taken the 3rd round pick. Because somebody would have paid Lamar Jackson a shit ton of money. But here's the reason why. It's just like there's so many quarterbacks I could name over and 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 over again. Mobile quarterbacks can't read defenses. And they're great while they're doing it. But when their legs fail, they're no longer viable options for starting quarterback in the NFL.
RG3.
I mean, there's like 3 quarterbacks in NFL history who could be considered running quarterbacks, in my opinion, who break that mold. 3. Fran Tarkenton, Randall Cunningham, and Michael Vick. And that's it. That is it. There is not a single other one throughout the history. I guess maybe you could say, maybe people could call Kenny Stabler one. Maybe. But those are my 3. They and Tarkenton played in an era where like, what was he actually reading defenses back then? It wasn't anywhere near as complicated back then as it is now. Randall Cunningham, probably not as complicated, but 1999 Randall Cunningham on the Vikings tells you everything you need to know about Randall Cunningham and how actually of a good quarterback he was.
Yeah.
Because he was not really much of a scrambler. That was the end of his career. He still had the arm, and he picked apart other teams that year. It was just a brilliant year for the Minnesota Vikings, and it ended on such a bad taste in Minnesota's mouth with their legendary kicker missing a field goal in the playoffs in the NFC Championship game, mind you. Oh, what a brutal, because that Minnesota Vikings team was 15-1. That was Randy Moss's rookie season.
That's right, yeah.
And such a brutal end to that season with fucking Gary Anderson missing a field goal in the NFC Championship game that would have put them in the Super Bowl. and a dude who was automatic for his entire career.
Yeah.
Just brutal. But yeah, and Michael Vick could clearly read a defense pretty well. He was obviously out there doing shit that nobody else could fucking do. But even when he was on the, later in his career, when he ended up on the Eagles and wasn't scrambling quite as much, he still he wasn't as good as Cunningham, but dude had a head on his shoulders. He could read defense. But Lamar Jackson, sorry, dude. He's so talented. But he can't read defenses. He's not winning the Ravens games by dropping back, reading a defense, and nailing the fucking open guy. Like, he's not. He's just not. Same thing with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. He's just not. They extend plays with their legs. And when they can't do that anymore, they will not be viable options for QB1. And I think that's where the hesitancy comes from, because if I had a guy like Lamar Jackson on my team where I drafted him in Lamar Jackson was drafted in the third round?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure. Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't start his rookie season. I think it was like the last 4 games of the season that year. Their quarterback got injured and he came in and showed the world what he can do. And it was really good. But even that season, it was like, yeah, he ain't reading defenses. He's dropping back. If his first target's open, he's hucking it. He's got an arm. The dude can fucking throw the ball like 70 yards in the air.
Yeah.
Dude, after last podcast, you have coined a term, and I'm sure you say it all the time, but it's not Chuck, it's Huck.
Yeah.
He's hucking it down the field. I don't know. I just love that. Hucking it is better than chucking it, because when you huck it, it goes farther than when you're chucking it.
Totally.
That's right. Goddamn right.
And it's more accurate. So I don't know if it's a regional thing, but when you say huck, I'm like, yeah, he's hucking.
That C slows it down a little bit.
It slows it way down. If you're chucking it, you can't read a defense. If you're hucking it, you can read a defense.
Yeah.
Braves are coming back. It's 4-3.
Oh, let's go Atlanta. I don't say that too often.
Yeah, no.
Only when they're playing Philly.
It was that week off, dude. I'm telling you, that kills teams.
Yeah.
Dude, the baseball playoffs have been brutal this year. To me, at least.
Yeah.
Like
hockey starts soon, right? This week?
It does, yeah.
Tomorrow?
This week.
This week. I'm excited. Hockey's my number one.
This is the best month out of the entire year. Yep. It's October. Baseball, NFL's in full swing. College football's in full swing. Hockey's starting. Yep. I'm sure there are soccer games going on.
And NBA starts at the end of this month too.
Soccer's in full swing.
Yeah.
Proper football. October's
the best month of the year. Every year.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be attending 2 sporting events this coming weekend.
Ooh, where
I'll be at the Kentucky Missouri football game on Saturday night, and on Sunday I'll be watching the ponies at Keeneland Racetrack in Lexington.
What is Kentucky's? What's the name of Kentucky's football team?
Wildcats.
Wildcats. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't remember that.
Yeah, they're the Wildcats.
All right, we'll go Wildcats this weekend.
They're 5-1. They got destroyed at Georgia last week, or yesterday, or 2 days ago. But, Georgia's number one.
It's Georgia.
Yeah. Well, they lost. They lost their quarterback.
Yeah.
to the Titans.
That's right. Did he make the team?
Yeah, he's their 3rd string quarterback.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah. He's looked terrible.
Yeah.
Are you talking about fucking Will Levis?
Yes.
I hate that guy, and I'll tell you why.
He's
Let
an
me tell
uber
you
douche.
why.
Oh, he's such
Let
a
me
douche.
tell you why I fucking hate this guy.
And this isn't even subjective. Like he's a douche.
It's a douchebag. So I was watching the draft, and I was on the phone with my buddy Cam mostly, and he's the guy we talk every day during football season. He's one of my closest friends. He's an Eagles fan. You're gonna love him.
Nope.
And anyways, dude, we're watching the draft and we're on the phone, and this guy, after each round that he's not picked, he's throwing a fucking hissy fit. And like his girlfriend's like, maybe I should get another man. His mom's like trying to console him, which is fucking embarrassing, having your mother like wipe your tears away with a hanky in public. You know what I mean? And fucking like when he didn't go the first round, you would have thought the Dolphins won the Super Bowl, because that time I hated him so much. I'm like, I hope he never gets drafted. I hope he has to play Canadian football.
Was he? I
Like-
think he was the first pick of the second round. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And he didn't even show up for the draft because his ass hurt so much. Like, dude, how much of a little fucking bitch are you that you don't like you come and you didn't get picked in the first round, so you're gonna fucking bitch about it and not even show up for the next day? It just rubbed me the wrong way, dude.
But it is my favorite thing ever. Actually, I remember watching the highlights of the draft and them
Oh, I'm sorry, Matt. Hold on,
showing
sorry,
Will
one-
Levis and being like, "Haha, look at my
Matt,
God,
Matt.
he's so pissed. He's
The
so pissed."
mayonnaise.
Yeah.
The fucking mayonnaise. That's exactly when I drew the line in the sand. I'm sorry to cut you off. The fucking mayonnaise. Now he's like sponsored by mayonnaise, Hellman's or something.
Who is Levis?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And mayonnaise is the worst thing on this fucking planet, just
Yeah, I
like
hate
Will
mayonnaise.
Levis. I fucking hate mayonnaise.
I love mayonnaise, but if there's anything on this planet to make me hate it, it's Will Levis.
I did the math. Will Levis and mayonnaise. I mean, if you love one, you love the other, Matt.
And maybe I'm a Miracle Whip guy now because of Will. I don't know. Thanks, Will. Thanks. Because of you, I have to eat Miracle Whip. Fuck you. God, I hate you. Worst
I've been to
quarterback
two Will
ever.
Levis games.
You
It
tainted,
sucks,
you
man.
tainted my co-host's daughter's college.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Honestly, dude, those are fighting words. We should get after this guy.
Yeah, he's like 6'7" or something, or 6'8". I can make him.
Yeah.
I can just tangle his legs up, man. He'll go down like a sack of potatoes.
That's right.
Ronnie, I know a guy. I'm sure you know a guy. I'm sure our guys can go
Oh,
over
we know
there and-
guys. Yeah,
we
yeah.
know guys. I know a couple guys.
Actually,
I got a guy for that.
Yeah, guy. Yeah, Ron's got family members in the mob. Will you better
I have a
watch
knee
out.
guy.
You better watch out.
Dude, I think about
Think of
the
me, guy.
doc. I think about the doc and the knee story at least once a day.
If you're unsure of what we're talking about, just send an email to Nancy Kerrigan. She'll let you know.
Yeah.
All horse teeth.
That was
Oh my
crazy, man. Remember that? That shit was fucking nuts.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I feel bad for Tanya Harding. Like, right, there was a salt lick right there that Nancy Kerrigan clearly had her eyes on,
Yeah.
Jesus
and
Christ.
she went down to go get it, and then they just blamed this guy for hitting her in the knee with a fucking crowbar. Like, what the fuck is that?
We weren't we must have been like in what, middle school or high school?
I think did
During
that
that?
happen before or after OJ?
It was after OJ.
Was it?
Yeah. Let me use my
I think
Google.
it might have been
machine
before
here.
OJ. OJ was 94. I was like a freshman in high school, or maybe OJ. No, OJ was 92.
No,
No, OJ was later
not.
than that. OJ was 95.
90 Yeah.
Oh no,
94,
you're right. It
95.
was. It was 96. Okay, so the Kerrigan thing was earlier than that.
I was in fourth grade when the OJ thing happened. I remember watching the verdict in the classroom.
Well,
I was
not
in
the
college.
verdict. Not the verdict. I'm talking about when Chase went down, when the murder actually happened.
Oh, all right. I remember the verdict. I don't remember the actual chase
I
because
think it was 93 because I still lived in
No, what-
Fairfax, Virginia when that went down, because I remember watching it at my friend's house on TV. But the verdict went down when I was a junior in high school. So it was a solid like 2 years before the verdict happened.
It was 94.
Yeah, the first part. was
June
94.
17th, 94 was when
Yeah.
he went on his 90-minute long pursuit.
Yep, because I moved down to the area I live in August of 94.
Yeah.
So it was a couple months before then.
But the trial was like 95.
But the
of
verdict didn't
95.
happen until 96.
Yeah,
I was
probably.
definitely a junior in high school when that happened. I remember because like
Let's see.
they pulled the plug on our it was like Cable Guy. It literally, and Cable Guy, you know the movie I'm talking about with Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, of course.
You remember how the whole verdict's going to happen and the guy lands on the satellite dish and everything goes.
yeah.
So that movie came out after the whole OJ thing. And at my high school, everybody was glued to their TVs. And it was literally, as they came up, it was like, we, the jury, find OJ Simpson, the defendant OJ Simpson, like just static through the whole school. It was literally the exact same thing that they then put in a movie later. Definitely.
So the Nancy
coincidence there.
Kerrigan thing was also 94.
Oh, it was also 94.
Yeah. So
what
that
a great.
but this was like
deal.
the winter. This would have been let's see.
What a great time.
It was 7 weeks before the Winter Olympics.
Yeah. Was that and that was the one the Atlanta one, right? That was Atlanta.
Was it?
The one with wasn't that Atlanta in the mid-90s there? The one that with like the bombing or whatever the fuck happened?
I thought that was the summer, the Atlanta Olympics.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, the Atlanta Olympics. This was in Lillehammer.
While you're looking that up real quick, I don't want to use this as like a sick, selling point for Ford, but they don't fucking make Broncos like they used to.
No.
The new Broncos that they released is absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
The bigger one is like okay. The smaller one sucks.
No, the bigger one's not even okay. My dad had Broncos, and like they were the OJ size Broncos, and those things were so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
These little pieces of shit that they have out now are like, dude, it's embarrassing to even call them a Bronco.
Just their headlights are dumb.
Well, any Ford period. Like people that drive Fords and think they're driving American-made cars are the most ridiculous people in the world to me. It's a Mexican-made car. It is not made in America. If you want to buy an American-made car nowadays, you do not buy Ford or Chevy or Dodge.
By Toyota.
You buy Toyota.
Yeah.
Yes. That is the sole reason why Toyota was allowed in NASCAR. Because Toyota was trying to get in and NASCAR kept telling them no. And Toyota finally said, well, you claim to be American-made cars only, and we're their most American-made car. And NASCAR did their research and said, well, fuck, you're correct. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Kia. They have a few factories, but they have this monster factory in Birmingham, Alabama that employs so many Americans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's cool.
I think Volkswagen makes some of their cars in Georgia too, I think.
Nobody's buying a Volkswagen, Ron. No one.
I'm a fan of the GTI.
Yeah, at one point they were good, but nobody's.
Yeah. No.
Nobody.
If there's one thing I've learned about doing this podcast with Matt, he draws hard lines in the sand. He has strong opinions on things, and that line you do not cross.
But they're true.
Yeah. Oh no, your shit's valid, dude. It's valid.
I draw hard lines in the sand in places where people are dead fucking wrong, and it's like a groupthink thing where people think they're right and they're fucking wrong, and they're so fucking wrong, and it makes me angry that people will go to bat for their wrong ideologies without even like paying a little bit of attention to it. As to, hey, Ford is a goddamn American-made car, and you can't tell me nothing. Like, fuck off, dude. Like,
we the people.
Maybe in the 1920s, the Model T was completely made in fucking America, but current day, your fucking Ford is Mexican-made, and you're the same motherfucker who's being like, we ought to build a wall at the border to keep those Mexicans out of our country. Woo! Like, but you're gonna support
hypocrisy.
But you're gonna turn around and just keep buying Ford because you think it's an American.
Just make sure there's an opening big enough for the Ford to get back.
You know what it is? I appreciate your backbone and your hard stance, because I'm the opposite. You could pour hot soup in my lap and I'll apologize to you.
I'm like that too. I had a friend who got hit by a car and he apologized for denting his car. Like he was hit, like not in a car, like he was his his person was hit by a car. Like he was himself.
His person.
Red would like to know, Ron, if your friend and also you, Travis, are Canadian.
No, but he's
not.
autistic, so I don't know if that makes it.
That's the same thing.
Oh, that's just good. I'm neither.
You have a chalice.
It's a goblet because I'm a lady.
It's a chalice.
Raise your goblet of rock.
It is a goblet. You should listen to that song.
It was White Claw.
She's also a Steelers fan.
You should listen to that song Chalice from
How many Super Bowls have I won?
0.
Here?
More than me.
At least she's being nice about it.
That's your beautiful face.
It is a beautiful face.
It is. Look at it. It's beautiful.
Historically, we have won 5 championships. Thank you.
Red, did you cut your hair?
I did.
Is it shorter? It looks great.
Thanks.
It does look very nice. It's very like
Awesome.
40s flapper, which is pretty hot. So
Yeah, it fits
It's
you very
Molly
perfectly.
Ringwald. It's
Yes,
Molly
it's
Ringwald.
Molly
that too. Yeah.
It rips. Your haircut rips.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I got a haircut today too, Travis. Thanks for noticing, you fucker.
I actually was going to say something. Okay, all right. Everyone shut the fuck up because I was going to say something, but then I said something like the podcast before last, and I didn't want to get weird about it, Ronnie. So, yeah, it looks fucking rad.
Hey, there's a thing I wanted to do actually at the beginning of this podcast that I completely forgot about because we jumped into some other things. But I wanted to say, Travis, I am so sorry that your Miami Marlins had to exit the playoffs by the Phillies' hands.
You know,
yeah.
I appreciate the sentiment, and I actually think you're being sincere.
I am,
But
I'm 100% being sincere. I hate the Phillies. I was
also-
rooting so hard for your boys.
Thank you so much. And I dislike the Phillies as well. And I think if we had Sandy and Yuri Perez back, it would have been different. But I mean,
Yeah.
our aces, they're out. Dude, did you hear about
Yep.
Sandy?
No.
So he had Tommy John surgery, and it must have been he's out for the entire next season.
Oh damn.
Oh, when did that happen? Was it
Within
towards
the
the
last
end of-
week.
Oh, brutal.
Brutal. So he's out for the entire next surgery because of Tommy John's.
Damn.
I was listen, after the All-Star break, when we just started shitting the bed, because why? We had a week off. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Baseball's about momentum. I mean, most sports
It's
are about
about-
momentum, but especially baseball.
especially
You
baseball.
Never take days off.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You're playing 6 out of 7 days of the week most of the time.
Yeah.
And it's about momentum and doing it every day and keeping that syzygy going. But starting shit in the bed after the half, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was just smitten to have fair and square 162 game season made it into the wild card. Like, I was extremely happy with that because the last time we did was the COVID year. It was an 80 game season. Who cares? Like, I don't really count that. But first year was Skip Schumacher. They went through the grind of the 162 games. They found a way and they made it to the postseason. There are no moral victories here, but that was good enough for me this season.
I'm a giant fan of Skip. I thought it was a little early to start hearing the Skip comments like after the All-Star break when they went on a losing streak. I heard a little bit of it. I was like, come on, it's his first year.
So stupid.
I know, so stupid. People have emotional reactions, and most sports fans have like insane emotional reactions to things. But I'm glad that they ended up making the playoffs so it could squash that shit, because Skip Schumacher is going to be an excellent manager. He is a Tony La Russa disciple. Dude, there's a reason why dude has only been retired from the MLB for like a couple years and already is a manager as a second baseman, mind you. Most dudes, like what he has done, were catchers previously.
Yeah.
But for a dude who was like an infield, he was a second baseman and a utility guy, played a little outfield. I
mean, he looks like he could still play the game.
Yeah.
That's how fresh he is.
He's not that old. Dude's still in his 40s. Like,
yeah. And it was a mix of him and the GM Kim Ng, who is she? I mean,
actually,
I have no idea who she was when she came in, but what she's done with this team, especially mid-season when she brought in Bell and Berger, Those guys are fucking unbelievable, dude. Those guys are unbelievable.
Josh Bell.
Josh Bell, you know it, dude. You already
I
know
love
it.
Josh Bell, man. He played 2 seasons for my Nats recently. And like I told you, we were texting back and forth. Josh Bell is the sole reason. Not the sole reason, because Juan Soto obviously is the main reason, but we sent Josh Bell to San Diego in the Juan Soto trade. And we landed Robert Wood and I can never pronounce dude's first name, but the young pitcher, 19-year-old, last name Susanna.
Mhm.
They did not want to give us, but they did because we sent Bell over as well. And Bell was hitting like 301 with 14 dingers and 50 some ribbies in like 100 games at the time. And he was terrible for San Diego. He was so bad for them. But we fleeced the Padres in that deal. We went from I think it was the 28th worst or 29th even worst minor league system in the major leagues to 4th after that trade.
Nice.
Yeah, we jumped that far up. And now we've got 5 outfielders in our minor league system through the draft and through that trade. We've got 2 through the draft and 3 through that trade. The other way around. 3 through the draft, 2 through that trade that are all projected to be superstars. So out of 5 dudes, we should at least hit on 2, I would imagine, as far as being superstars. Because Dylan Cruz is definitely going to be a superstar. I think everybody.
Oh, dude, that you don't even have to ask that question.
And Robert Wood, it's the same thing with him. Everybody's like, no, it's not even a question. But there's 3 other guys. There's 3 other guys that we have that are projected to be superstars. 5-tool guys.
I hate to cut you off again, but your Atlanta Braves are up 5-4.
Nice.
Oh, brutal. What inning?
In the bottom of the 8th.
I thought, I thought we were going to talk a little bit more about the Orioles tonight because, as we said at the end of the last episode, Chris Heller was supposed to be on tonight. Yeah. He had to cancel. He'll be on our next OBH Sports episode. He's a giant O's fan. I thought we would be talking a little bit more about the O's because I didn't think they'd be down 0-2 to the Rangers.
Hopefully they'll still be in it when he's on, but it's not likely.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know with this O's team.
Yeah.
They explode in waves. Like,
yeah,
it's so true, dude.
The Rangers have won 4 straight in the playoffs as of right now. I cannot see them winning 5 straight against better teams, mind you.
Right.
I can't see them winning 5 straight. Granted, it's in Texas, so they took the O's twice in Baltimore, but for whatever reason, some of the most head scratching baseball that I have seen in my life, the O's pitched. They're like one good pitcher and another, and they're like 5th starter, the 4th or 5th starter. It's head scratcher. Just
Krimmer starts tomorrow. It looks like.
All right, fellas.
All
right. See you guys in 2 weeks.
Dudes.
Later.
Sounds good. Later, Ed.
Bye-bye.